Chris Watts and Shanann Catherine Watts lived what seemed to be a perfect life. They resided in a spacious five-bedroom home in Frederick, Colorado. Chris was a quiet, hard-working man, employed by Anadarko Petroleum. Shanann was vibrant, outgoing, working from home with a health supplements company called Thrive. Their daughters, Bella, 4 years old, and Celeste, 3 years old, were adored. Shanann was pregnant with their third child, a boy they planned to name Nico. On social media, Shanann often posted videos of the girls singing, dancing, and the family spending loving moments together. To everyone watching, the Watts family seemed like the American dream. But inside the home, cracks were spreading. Financial issues haunted them. They had declared bankruptcy in 2015. They struggled to keep up with mortgage payments and daily expenses. Emotionally, Chris became distant. Friends noticed Shanann trying harder and harder to fix the marriage, booking date nights, trips, working on communication. What Shanann didn't know was that Chris had already emotionally checked out. In mid-2018, while Shanann and the girls visited family in North Carolina for several weeks, Chris began an affair with a coworker named Nickel Kessinger. Nickel was unaware at first that Chris was still fully married. He told her he was finalizing a divorce. They spent intimate weekends together. Chris sent her love letters, bought her gifts, and began envisioning a new life without Shanann. Instead of asking for a divorce, Chris plotted something far more sinister. On August 12, 2018, Shanann returned home late from a business trip to Arizona. Around 1:48 a.m., her friend's home security camera recorded her arriving at the house. Inside, a deadly confrontation began. Shanann confronted Chris about his affair and accused him of ruining their family. Chris, feeling cornered by his lies, strangled Shanann to death in their bedroom. Shanann, 15 weeks pregnant with baby Nico, begged for her life, but Chris killed her. Afterward, he went into his daughter's rooms. Chris smothered Celeste and Bella, though evidence later suggested that Bella fought back, biting her tongue, struggling to survive. Chris wrapped Shanann's body in a bedsheet. He loaded her and the two small girls into the back seat of his work truck, with the girls still alive initially. Then he drove over 40 miles to an oil work site owned by Anadarko Petroleum. At the site, he strangled Celeste first, then put her tiny body into an oil tank. Then he strangled Bella and placed her into a second oil tank. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave nearby. The oil tanks were a horrifying choice. It would be hard to detect the bodies inside them. Later that morning, Shanann's friend, Nicole Atkinson, grew worried because Shanann missed a doctor's appointment and wasn't answering texts. She called police for a welfare check. Chris arrived home and acted strangely calm. He claimed Shanann had taken the girls and left. He allowed police to search the house. Police and friends noticed strange things. Shanann's car was still at home. Her purse, wallet, and keys were inside. Her medications, especially pregnancy-related, were untouched. Neighbors' security cameras showed Chris backing his truck into the driveway, loading it up. Not typical behavior. Chris appeared on local TV news, making emotional pleas for his family's return. But people noticed. His body language was off. His eyes were dry. He seemed to be acting. Police brought him in for questioning. He failed a polygraph test. Faced with the evidence, Chris finally confessed. But first, he tried to blame Shanann. He falsely claimed he killed Shanann only after she had hurt the girls. This was a lie, proven by autopsy results. Eventually, Chris admitted the truth. He murdered them all. Chris Watts was charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder, including Shanann's unborn child, unlawful termination of a pregnancy, 3 counts of tampering with a deceased body. In November 2018, Chris pleaded guilty to all charges to avoid the death penalty. Sentencing: 5 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus 48 years for unlawful termination of Shanann's pregnancy, plus 36 years for disposing of the bodies. Chris was transferred to Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin, where he remains today. The Watts case horrified millions. How could a seemingly normal man kill his pregnant wife and 2 daughters? How could someone lie so easily to the world? Many felt betrayed by the image of normal the Watts family had shared on social media. Netflix later released a documentary titled American Murder: The Family Next Door, using real footage and text messages to reveal the chilling story. Today, Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico are remembered through memorials and awareness campaigns against domestic violence.